Hello and welcome to Die Rolling with me, Will, and as you saw, we are now on to day 16 of the Exit Advent Calendar, having solved as we are down right here from the previous episode. And so this time last time we were able to escape a ski avalanche listening to Last Christmas, which Jamie and Adam have tantalizingly put in my head. And now we are going to explore what is to come on this epic adventure. So we are on day 16, and as always, we have an introduction to our little to where we're off to next. So let us see where we're at. Although you have turned off the music, the song remains stuck in your brain. Several of the icicles have fallen and move over the frozen lake, and you move over the frozen lake more carefully. Once you finally arrived, you change from ice skates back into your hiking boots and walk towards the door. But great, it's just a fake door. You feel desperate for a moment. Have you come all this way for nothing? Then you notice several colourful marks on the rock face in front of you. Are these climbing holds? In fact, the wall is covered in them. And there at the top, is that another hatch or in the ceiling? Luckily, you have some climbing experience and quickly reach at the top. But you could have guessed it. You need 3 more numbers in order to open the hatch. You climb down. You look around more closely. It seems that your seems to be a private boulder wall of your host. You do find a whole range of suggested routes to be practiced here, some of which seem to be quite a risky stretch. On the other hand, if the person who constructed the wares wore enormous shoes, he probably wouldn't be of the small variety. But this doesn't help you find the correct code. Luckily, on the thick mat, you find another clue. So, there's something in this room. So let us open door number 16. And in here... Oh, I'm now opening all the doors by accident. So let us open this and see what's in here. We get... Oh, we've got something different. Got a little bit of rope. Look at this. Ooh, bit of rope. Interesting. And we got some numbers. Oh, are we doing like a funky pin thing? Like this is like different mountain ranges with different numbers on. Intriguing. Well, we'll come back to that. It's like a climbing wall room. That's quite interesting. And we've got card P, which has the following on it. Door to door. Follow the numbers. Okay, it's saying door to door. And the doors kind of look very similar to the doors on the calendar. So maybe we go from the Advent door to Advent door? Let's try that. Let's try that as the first port of call. But we got our rope. Let's open up the rope. Get it so we can... we got rope. Hopefully we can now tie up some loose ends. But insert little laugh there. Right, so let us have a look-see. Right, so we've got a big piece of rope. And we've got a code, which I'm going to stick over here so you can all sort of see it on camera. So we got to go from 11 to start off with. So we've got to go from door 11. And then we've got to go from each of the doors. So we start from door 11, which is right here, which then leads up to door number 12, which is up there. And then from door number 12, we go to door number 2, which is down here. Then we go from door number 2 to door number 3, which is right there. Then we go from door number 3 to door number 16, which is all the way over there. What does that kind of look like? Does that look like a number? I'm going to see it as like 3 rows, and each row sort of codes a number. So I'm going to say that looks like a number 6 to me. Like it goes on a loop and then goes out round itself again. can't be a 4 because of how it is. So I'm going to put a 6 down. I'm going to guess a 6 because we're going up from here, round here, come back, and then do a loop here, and then go back over there. So I think it's just a weird 6. So I'm going to put a 6 down, but it could also be a 4. So we'll figure it out in a bit. The next thing we've got to do is we start from 11 to 12, which is another straight line. So it's 11 to 12 all the way up to the top. And 11 to 12 goes from 11 to 12 to 1, which is back down here. Now that's got a bit more angle to it. And then we go from 1 to 4, which is actually up there. So it goes up to the top corner there. Then it goes from there to 6, which I believe is that one. Goes to that one. And then 6 to 15, which is back up there. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, they're drawing out mountainsides. So this is a particular mountain, and in that room is the thing. So we've got a mountainside of up. We've got up, down, then a smaller peak, then down, and then up again. And then the last one was a different style of mountain. So I've got to do that again. So it goes from 11 to 12. 12 to 2, which is down here, so a very steep peak. So it goes doop, doop, and then all the way down to the bottom. And then it goes from 12 to 1, which goes across to here. 1 to 4. Oh, no. 12 to 2. 2 to 3, which is back on itself, which goes underneath here. And then there all the way to 16, which goes all the way across there. So it sort of goes back on itself and then goes from here all the way down. So it isn't like a massive mountain. So kind of like that. So that's code number 1. That's code number 2. And then we'll sort of try and figure out from this what our mountainsides are from the inside the room. So finally we've got 11. So we start at 11, which is again the bottom and the bottom corner. All of them start with 11. Then we go to number 8, which is the one slightly next to it, so it's only a little peak, and then that goes down to 1. So yeah, so you get a little peak, and that goes down to the bottom again, and then we go down from there to number 4, which goes really high then. So you get then a really high peak, and then that comes back down to number 16. So that's then a really high peak down to the bottom. So you have that in the middle. So kind of like these sort of symbols. We need to look for stuff that matches this structure. So that is going to be our code, and that's the order from top to bottom of what our code's going to be. I guarantee it. So let's look inside the box and see what we can spot. So from what I can see, what matches what we've drawn. So the 8 is the last code in our sequence, because that matches the last code that we just drew. So let's do that. So let's do that. So number 8 is the first code. Let me write that down. So 8 is the last digit. Right. So the next digit is something. The next one is like 3 peaks. So we're looking for like something with like kind of like 3 peaks, which kind of is that one. But did that resemble what we were looking for? Yeah, I can kind of see it. So I can kind of see the ones we want are 4 and 9. So we've got so the first one was a straight peak, then it was the 4, so it's 9, 4, 8, I believe, is our secret code. If not, I've drawn a mountain wrong and we can go back and draw the mountain. So my code is 9, 4, and 8. So now let's flip this over and see what we got. We got a Y, a star, and a plus, which is wrong. So we must have missed this up somewhere. So let's have a look at the mountains again and see what we can see. So maybe try drawing the drawing the mountains again. So let's draw the last mountain again. So we start from 11. We go from 11 to 8 to 1 to 4 to 16, which is like 2 big peaks. Okay, so it's 2 big peaks next to each other. So 2 big peaks next to each other is a 0. It's a 0 like that. But it was more like, it was like a big peak followed by a big peak kind of thing, but a bit off. Maybe it's a 3. Let's try it one more time. Just triple check. We'll triple check we get it right, because I don't think it was a door right when I did it. So it's 11 to 8. Oh, which is there, which is the lower one. 8 to 1, which is a lower case. And then 1 to 4, which is at the top. And 4 to 16, which is down there. So we get a do, 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 do. So we get little, we get zigzag, big, slight angle towards us. So that is 6, most likely on this Yeah, so it's a 6. So the first digit, or the last digit in the sequence is a 6. So let's mark that down. So the last digit is 6. Okay, so the next digit is, or the next one up is 11. So what this is to start off with. So we start off with 11. The next mountain is 11. Then it goes to 12, which is straight up. So it's a straight up line. So it starts off really steep, and then it goes from 11, or it goes from 12, sorry, down to 1. So you get a really steep spike there, and then it goes from 1 towards 8, which is then back on itself this way. Oh no, it's not to 8. What am I talking about? I'm looking at the wrong thing. So it goes down to there to 1. Then it goes from there to 1 to 4. And then it goes from there to 4 to 6, which is down here, and then gradients off. So it does like a big ski, and then gradients itself off at the end. So that's slightly different. So let's have a look at that. So it does big step, then it gradients itself, which kind of resembles what 1 does, but 1, it goes straight to the bottom. Kind of represents 1, but back to front. I think it's 1, you know? I think it's 1. So instead, so let's make that a 1. So it goes big spike. Oh no, it goes to 15. One second, it goes the wrong way. So it goes down to 6, goes down a bit, but then goes back up again. So it then goes back up. But maybe I did it the upside. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe it's meant to be upside down instead. So let's do it that way and see what we get. So we go 11. We go from 11 to 1, or 12, sorry, which is at the top. 12 to 1, which is down the bottom. So we get the big peak. Then we go from 1 to 4, which is up there. And then we go from 4 to 6, which is there. So you get another big peak, but goes down a bit. And then we get another peak up there. So it's another big peak. So it's like peak after peak after peak, which actually makes 7. So we get a 7 for the middle number, because it's big peak, big peak, big peak. And then we finally look at the last one, which is like 11 to 12. 12 to 2, which goes down to here. Then 2 to 3, which goes back on itself a bit, before then going from 3 to 16, which is all the way over there. So it goes up there and then gradients down. So it's then that one big peak, which makes 9, which if I believe that's right. So let's have a look and double check that. Does it make 2? But it makes 4. It makes a 4, sorry. It makes a 4. So we have a 4, a 7, and a 6 instead. So that was a bit of a mishmash, but let's see what we get. We get triangle, L, and a moon, which again is wrong. So what am I missing? What am I missing here? I believe I'm doing the shapes right. Like, I thought I was doing the shapes right. I thought I was getting the right. Thought I was getting the right things out of it. What do I go? What do I try next? So I've tried doing like the shape of the mount. So I know what I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm just getting the wrong values out. So let's see what we get. So let's try again. Let's try one more time and do the mountain shapes. And I'm going to draw them out this time so that I actually can see what I get. So we're going to start from here. So we start from 11. We go up to there, which goes up to number 12. Takes us down to number 2, which is down there. 2 goes back into 3, and then 3 goes across there, which sort of gives us like this big peak with a gradient down the middle, which sort of takes us and leans me towards a 4, but the peak itself is very sharp to start with. The only one that sort of resembles the mountainside that I've done is number 4. So I'm going to go with number 4, as you can sort of see in there. So I'm going to go with number 4. As the first digit. I'm guaranteed that that is the right one. Right, so the next one is number 11. So we're going to start with 11. So there's not number 11, there's number... the second mountain is 11 to 12, which goes up to there. Then we go from 12 to 1, which goes down to here. Then we go from 1 to 4, which goes up to here. And then we go from 4 to 6, which is down to here. Before moving all the way back up to 15. And we can sort of do that. Let's sort of put him in the door, try and make it somewhat visible. So you can sort of see that that's a high peak. That goes to another high spot. That's then a high peak there. Then you've got the high peak that sort of gradually gets into that sort of shape. So the only other one that sort of matches that is number 9 that's on back wall. It sort of does this like weird pattern. There's a big gap followed by another gap. Anything else on that? It doesn't really match. So I'm going to say number 2 is this 9, 4, 9. So 4, 9. Let's have a look. 4, 9. Let's see what the last one is then. So 11 to 8, 7 to 12, 11 to 8, sorry. Okay, maybe that's where I'm going wrong. 11 to 8, 8 to 1, which is the small one. So we go down to here. Then we go from 1 to 4, which is all the way up there. And then we go from 4 down to 16, which takes us all the way down here. So we then get our next final mountain peak, which is that little divot plus a big mountain. And we can see that there's a 6, but there's also an 8. So I think it's the 8 because of the smaller mountain on the side on it, as you can see in there. So let's have a look and see what that gets us, which is 4, 9, and 8. Which is, again, the moon. This is really frustrating. Like, it must be that one of them is wrong. So let's have a look at the mountainside again. So, it's to do with one of the numbers. Maybe I got... Oh, you know what? I've been putting it in 13. I've got the first digit wrong all the time. What am I doing wrong? Oh, right, so the first digit is actually 11 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 1. Oh, no, 12 to 2, which it's done. 2 to 3, which is actually that one there. I've just been putting it to 13 the whole time. And then that to 16. Look at that. You get a peak and then a little peak. So that must be number 2. Number 2. So we end up with a 298. Not flipping 498. What am I doing wrong? Which gives us y square L and actually gives us a symbol, which is this one right here. Meaning that we have solved this puzzle and we are done with the escape room number 16. Oh, that got there in the end. Me mixing up a piece of string and me really poorly writing numbers on this thing to identify what rooms they're meant to be. Oh, but I really like that puzzle. That was really good. I really, really like that. I like using the rope to try and deduce it and figure out the little lines between it and connecting all the doors. That was really clever. Made sense of why now certain ones are at particular angles and you have to cut certain doors away, which is really cool. So that's been me, Will from Die Rollin, and you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed another episode of us doing this exit escape room. I'm really enjoying it. I'm thinking I'm going to actually escape at this point. Getting so close. I'm so close to escaping, but. I hope you again really enjoy this video. I hope you are excited for the next one as much as I am. And make sure you all check us. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates and the behind-the-scenes content. Check us out on YouTube, as you've been seeing us right here, and all our other content that's on here, all including our other walkthroughs and other games that we've played throughout the years. And I hope that you make sure you give us a subscribe, a like, a comment. I love seeing the comments to tell me what I've done wrong. Probably tell me how bad it took me to figure out where the angles were going wrong and why I was putting it in the wrong door to begin with. It was just my ignorance of me not actually being able to do it properly. That was my fault. But we solved it. And most importantly, guys, I hope you all stay safe and keep rolling.